Good morning, I'm Gretchen Ho. We're coming in live this Friday, the 5th day of September, bringing you Morning Matters because your mornings matters. Get to the stories that matter today. Due to the persistent rains brought by the southwest monsoon or habagat, several local government units have suspended classes today, particularly in Metro Manila and nearby provinces. The Discayas family has turned over an additional 16 luxury vehicles to the Bureau of Customs. According to their legal counsel, the move demonstrates that the family has nothing to hide. And House spokesperson attorney Princess Abante has verified that Ako Bicol Representative Zaldy Co is presently in the United States for medical reasons. Welcome to our program, Morning Matters, where we talk about the issues you need to know for the rest of your day. Now, first on the agenda. Several areas in the country have suspended classes today, September 5, due to the effects of the southwest monsoon or habagat. Affected areas are Caloocan, Malabon, Marikina, Pasig, Las Piñas, Valenzuela, Parañaque, Pateros, and San Juan City, as well as Baguio City, Arayat, Pampanga, Santiago Isabela, Subic Zambales, Ternate Cavite, May Kawayan, Santa Maria, Balagtas, Baliwag, Hagonoy, Kalumpit, Pandi, Malolos, and Bulacan, Bulacan. The government is eyeing the filing of charges against the Discayas over unfinished work of the Philippine Film Heritage Building in Intramuros, Maynila. Here is the report.
The reconstruction of the Philippine Heritage Building in Intramuros was supposed to be finished yesterday. However, during an inspection by First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos, several issues were discovered. The cinema is still under construction. The elevator is not fully finished, and some rooms have cement floors instead of tiles. The contractor of the project is Great Pacific Builders and General Contractor Incorporated, a company linked to the Discayas family. It had a contract price exceeding 107 million pesos.
Dapat lang nilang ayusin. At tignan natin kung ano pa ang magagawa nila. Kasi kung wala silang magagawa, lalo itong hindi magiging maganda ang resulta, might as well, humarap na lang sila sa kaso.
First Lady Liza is disappointed, especially since this project was intended to house the Film Development Council of the Philippines.
Una, sabi niya, pakiramdam niya is, tayo pa ba? Na nasa gobyerno, magbibigay lang sana ng regalo sa film industry. Siya pang naloko. Hindi ba? So, mas masakit yun. Pero hindi pa po natin nakausap ang Pangulo patungkol dito. Pero definitely, pag nalaman din niya to, magagalit po yun.
Castro went on to say that this incident shows the problems go beyond flood control projects. The palace officer also vowed that the government will ensure that Discayas complete the work and may pursue charges.
Pwede sila makasuhan, unang-una, civil liability, meron to. Diba? Kung meron makikitang panloloko, hindi ikakaila na pwede sila makasuhan ng estafa.
For News 5, Maricel Halili, We Are One News.
The Discayas family has surrendered 16 more luxury vehicles to the Bureau of Customs. Their lawyer, Cornelio Samaniego III, said the move shows the family has nothing to hide. The vehicles are now under verification for importation records and assessment of duties and taxes. Meanwhile, flood victims and environmental activists staged a protest outside the Pasig office of St. Gerard Construction and Development Corporation. The group threw mud and rocks at the gate and vandalized the property's facade. Samaniego said their camp will file a criminal complaint against the organizer of the protest.
Nalulungkot yung spouses Discayas, no? Kasi bakit nangyayari ito? Malaya po silang makapaglahad ng kanilang saloobin. Pero wag naman ho silang gumamit ng dahas, pananakot, vandalism, pambabato. Hindi na ho ugali ng maayos na mamamayang Pilipino yan. Kung gusto nila ng accountability, ipulis mo muna ho nila yung sarili nilang organisasyon. Wag ho silang ganyan.
Former Bulacan 1st District Engineer Henry Alcantara has been dismissed over a supposed ghost flood control project he approved. Contractor Wow Builders has also been blacklisted and may face charges. Mobile journalist Ray Vicente with a report.
Barely a week after taking office, DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon has officially dismissed Henry Alcantara, the former district engineer of Bulacan's 1st District. In recent days, Alcantara had confirmed during the congressional hearings that he issued certificates of completion to questionable projects. He admitted too that he goes to the casino 2 to 3 times a month using an alias and a fake ID. Under the law, government employees are prohibited from entering gambling establishments. Senator Ping Lacson had tagged Bulacan's 1st District as the epicenter of ghost projects. On Thursday morning, Dizon got to see for himself what this meant when he visited a flood control project in Barangay Sipat, Plaridel, Bulacan. The project was awarded to Wawaw Builders for 96.5 million pesos and was marked completed in June 2024. But all Dizon saw was a huge mound of soil and steel lying around. They also found out from the barangay officials, residents, and the project foreman that actual construction only began last month.
Ang tawag ko dito, patay na, pinipilit buhayin. Kasi nabayaran na siya eh. Klarong-klaro na ghost project ito. Talagang ito, kahayupan na ito. Hindi tao to mga taon to.
Secretary Dizon said he also intends to dismiss engineers Bryce Hernandez and JP Mendoza as well. They're Alcantara's colleagues in the 1st District of Bulacan. Without naming names, Senator Lacson also later on alleged that 2 DPWH engineers who frequented casinos have collectively lost over 300 million pesos gambling.
I will ask the DPWH legal to recommend filing charges, the appropriate charges against Henry Alcantara. Obviously, criminal to. No, criminal to. I mean, pag nanakaw ito eh. 100 million. Binaba ang Bulacan eh. Usually, 6 months, 7 months out of the year. Ang problema lang, talagang hayop talaga itong mga taong to. Yung area na alam na nilang hirap na hirap ang mga kababayan natin sa baha, kamukha yung sa Kalumpit.
As for the project's contractor, Wawaw Builders, Dizon says a lifetime blacklist isn't enough.
Hayop na wawaw na ito. Kung ako kay Mr. Arevalo, I should just turn myself in right now.
Per records from the Securities and Exchange Commission, Mark Alan Arevalo is one of Wawaw's directors. Aside from this project in Plaridel, Wawaw Builders is also linked to alleged ghost projects in Kalumpit and Hagonoy.
The Management Association of the Philippines is warning that corruption in government could hurt investor confidence in the country. MAP Governor Rex Drilon told The Big Story that persistent corruption discourages foreign investors from bringing their money to the Philippines. He stressed that unless the problem is addressed, the country risks falling further behind its neighbors in attracting foreign direct investments.
The more people are convinced that we are a corrupt society, the less enthusiasm to invest here in the Philippines. So we better get our act together and clean this up, or we'll wind up as usual at the bottom of the ladder in terms of foreign direct investments. Because
Coming right up, the confirmation of Ako Bicol Representative Zaldy Co's medical trip to the United States comes just as his name is being linked to the ongoing controversy over alleged budget insertions. All that and more when Morning Matters returns after a quick break. Good morning, Gretchen Ho here on Morning Matters. We talk about the most pressing issues and give you the context behind the headlines. House officials confirmed that Ako Bicol Party List Representative Zaldy Co is currently in the United States for medical treatment. And as his name surfaces into the controversy over alleged budget insertions, let's talk about that more in this report.
Where is ACO Bicol Party List Representative Zaldy Co? Since the opening of the 20th Congress, not once has he set foot in the plenary. From July 28 to August 27, his absences piled up, some without notice. Only once did he file an official leave. Most of the time, his reason was that he was either in his district or attending a committee meeting. House spokesperson Attorney Princess Abante confirmed that Co is currently in the United States for medical treatment.
Sa alam ko, he's currently out of the country. I understand he is nasa United States siya for medical treatment with appropriate travel documents.
Meanwhile, his party mate, ACO Bicol Party List Representative Alfredo Garbin Jr. said Co has been undergoing extensive check-ups due to low blood pressure.
Kasi may na-mention sa akin na parang 90/60 ang baba daw ng blood pressure niya. So, may ikakandak na extensive check-up.
But while Co is abroad for treatment, his name has surfaced in discussions on alleged budget insertions. In the latest House Infrastructure Committee hearing, Navotas Representative Toby Chanco pointed to Co as the alleged proponent of a 13 billion peso insertion in the BICAM version of the budget. Garbin, however, insists accusations must be backed by evidence.
Kung may katotohanan man at may irregularidad, ang tamang action dyan ay mag-file siya ng kaso.
So far, Co has yet to issue a statement.
And joining us now is ACO Bicol Party List Representative Alfredo Garbin, party mate of Congressman Zaldy Co. Magandang umaga po sa inyo, Kong.
Magandang umaga, Gretchen, at magandang umaga sa lahat ng nanonood.
First of all, can you confirm the whereabouts of Congressman Zaldy Co? Is he in the United States, and how long has he been there? When did he leave the country?
He's in the United States right now po, and in fact he's undergoing extensive medical checkup in multi-country medical consultation na kung saan inumpisahan niya po ito sa Singapore. And since February yata, inagawa niya na ito because he discovered that November of last year, meron ngang diferensya sa kanyang puso.
This is a heart problem. How serious is? Okay. How serious is the condition that he could he only get treatment for that abroad?
Well, he preferred to be treated abroad, like Singapore and in the U.S. Yesterday, I was told that yung kanyang blood pressure ay 90/60. So he was told by his doctor in the United States to undergo extensive medical procedure.
But you mentioned that this is a checkup, not any procedure yet.
When I speak of procedure, checkup, consultations, opinions from other doctors, but wala pa doon sa kumbaga operations, wala pa.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And when is he expected to return after all of those checkups?
That I cannot answer, Gretchen. But as soon as he finish all these checkups, then I think he will go home.
Oo. Hindi ho ba pag check-up mabilis lang yun? After, it probably would take several, titignan lang po, and then when he gets the assessment, then he can fly back?
Well, based on my experience when I do executive checkups. But sa kanya, he was advised by his doctor to undergo an extensive consultation. Kasi kahapon nga, when I learned that sabi niya 90/60 yung kanyang blood pressure, pinapabalik ulit siya ng kanyang doktor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Would you know where in the United States the congressman is?
He's in the East Coast. So the particular and specific state, hindi ko po masagot ngayon.
Oo, he is a public official po kasi, no? Siyempre, pag nandun po siya, yung kanyang tungkulin, tinatanong ng taong bayan kung paano po niya gaganapin. What would you say over, I guess, the timing of this? It comes alongside the hearings on the flood control projects, and syempre nababanggit po ang pangalan ni Representative Zaldy Co. Hindi po maalis sa taong bayan na maisip na ito ay pagtatakas mula dun sa mga hearing.
No, he never intend to, escape or hide. And that's why he continues to communicate with me. And but he doesn't want to, engage into any interviews because hindi nga stable yung kanyang kalagayan.
But does that mean that if he is called by Congress as resource person, that he will not attend?
Yes, he will attend if he will be summoned, provided that the same will be the subject of an ongoing investigation. Because what was raised by Toby Chanko was a subject matter which is not an issue that is not the subject matter of the TRICOM committee. Therefore, members of the committee ruled not to, adhere to those requests because the improper.
Ibig nyo sabihin na hindi po dapat tinatalakay itong budget insertions kuno dito sa flood control hearings. Tama po ba yung pagkakaintindi ko?
Well, as a general rule, you can discuss all matters pertaining to a controversy at hand. But yung tinatalakay po noon, doon sa TRICOM committee, if I may say, yung mga flood control projects already implemented and subject to scrutiny. Some of them were found out to be ghost projects and substandard or not completed. So you speak of a budget na hindi pa nga siguro implemented, hindi pa downloaded. Kumbaga, malilihis lang yung usapan ng issue sa issue.
And of course, when we talk about the flood control projects, we do know that this is an extensive, systemic-wide corruption that has been linked even up to the level of congressmen. For example, if you take a look at the data surrounding Bicol region, kayo po ang may third highest budget for flood control. Number 1 ang Central Luzon, pangalawa pong NCR. At dalawa po sa kumpanya na related po kay Congressman Zaldy Co ay top contractor sa Bicol. Katulad na lang po ng SunWest, they are the 5th leading flood control project contractor in Bicol. So isn't it just correct to be able to clarify or get the documents from the congressman, knowing that he is also House Appropriation Chair. He was, at naging parte po siya dito sa small committee at pati na rin ho sa BICAM. Hindi po ba parang nalilinya naman po sa tama yon, yung conversation na yon?
Gretchen, just to put you in a proper perspective, Kong Zaldy is no longer part of SunWest. Even in all documents, the SEC registration, hindi mo na makita pangalan doon. Pangalawa, talk about SunWest, the president and CEO of SunWest was there present. And so he could have, Toby could have, elicit some questions to the representative on SunWest. But what drew my suspicion was when he ignored and hindi man lang siya nagtanong doon sa St. Timothy and Sims Construction Trading na nakakuha rin ng mga flood control projects sa kanyang distrito. And if you talk about transparency and accountability, you should have first asked questions on those matters pertaining to his territorial jurisdiction, wherein two of the contractors, such as St. Timothy, Sims, who were involved in ghost projects in Bulacan, were also taker and awarded contract in his districts.
Okay. But going back to Congressman Co, his brother, Christopher Co, Congressman Co, is also the founder of High Tone Construction, which is also a top contractor in the Bicol region. What is the level of divestment of the brother?
Alam mo po, Gretchen, hindi ako spokesperson ng High Tone. Hindi nga ako involved sa SunWest at saka sa High Tone. So if I may, let's focus on the budget insertions and the TRICOM, because I did not appoint myself as a spokesperson of Sunwest and High.
That's correct, but also Congressman Zaldy Co is a representative of Ako Bicol, same party list as you. So, syempre po, kung implicated po siya, kasama na rin po kayo doon. Ano? What does the party say about accountability and transparency? Is the party open to fully cooperating with any ongoing investigation into these, pati po yung mga possible conflicts of interest?
I repeat, Gretchen, Hong Salvi stand by the fact that he already divested from Sunwest, and in all its hearings in the Senate and in the House of Representatives, the President and CEO of Sunwest is always present to answer all the questions pertaining to their existing contracts entered in the public works. So, siguro, I can only answer those issues where Ako Bicol was alluded.
And several congressmen have released actually their SAL-ins. No? Meron pong ganong panawagan ng presidente na mag-lifestyle check. He is willing to disclose his own SAL-ins, sabi po niya. Are you amenable to that, releasing SAL-ins, communications, and bank records?
Yes, Gretchen, I will release it by Monday if you may so request it.
Your own?
Yes.
Pati rin po, would the party urge Congressman Zaldy Co to do that?
That's a personal matter of which I can just ask and request if he's willing to release the SALN. Yeah.
Okay, puntahan po natin yung flood control projects dyan po sa Bicol. I mean, kayo po ay, kamusta naman ho yung proseso on your part in actually the oversight of the budget when it comes to infrastructure? Yung po ba ay nakikita nyo rin? And do you get to lobby certain projects?
Yeah, we get to lobby as a member of Congress. Those programs and part of our advocacy, budgets that will serve the needs and concerns of our constituency. Tama po. But as of now, naantay rin po namin yung report ng Department of Public Works and any independent commission on the findings of kung ano yung mga kontrata may kinakasagutan na anomalya dito sa Bicol region. And so far, wala pa.
Ang mga congressman po, ano po ang kumbaga parang role ninyo madalas? Nasusuri nyo po ba yung mga budget na dumadating po sa inyong table? Pagka, syempre, naisabit na po yan mula dun sa, sa NEP.
Alam mo po, Gretchen, ang budget process ay may apat na, kumbaga, it has a work phase. One is the preparation, which is the National Expenditure Program, a product of the executive submitted to the House of Representatives. Sa amin nag-emanate yung budget. Pangalawa, it's the approval or the consent being asked by the executive for the approval of its budget. So nandun na yung pag-scrutinize. Nandun na yung General Appropriation Bill 1, 2, and then we transmit it to the Senate. And then if there is a conflicting provision, then we harmonize the same through what we call this, a bicameral conference committee. And the product of which we ratify by all the members of Congress, kung ano man ang napagkasundoan ng Senado at ng Kongreso. So ang sinasabi ko dito, and really in relation to the accusations of Toby Chanco, a budget, the General Appropriation Act, is an act of Congress which was signed into law. In fact, siya mismo bumoto doon sa GAA, pati sa ratification ng background. Hindi ko alam kung bakit hanggang ngayon nagrereklamo pa rin siya. But he was part of a product, a law that he himself
Actually, yun nga ho, no? So you're challenging him to start with his own district before he looks into Congressman Zaldy's.
Gretchen, you say, I have this document. Yes, I have this document. And because what he's waiving is just a USB. But I can waive a printed copy of all his insertion in his district, and it amounted to 529 million for 2025. This is his alleged insertion. And some of the projects here were awarded to the two contractors that I mentioned, yung na-invuelto sa Ghost Project, yung Sims and St. Timothy. If it's all about accountability and transparency, and considering that the pressing issue right now are these contractors who are involved in those Ghost projects, and sana imbestigahan niya muna yung bakod niya.
Saan niyo po binabalak ilabas ho yan, yung datos na hawak-hawak po ninyo sa inyong document?
I can give this to you. I can even forward it to your Viber or to your staff. So, para man masagot niya at may paliwanag kung bakit. Nandun na kasi yung Sims Nandun na yung St. Timothy. Inililihis niya yung issue doon sa mga na hindi naman subject of the investigation. But sana natanong niya, he took that opportunity na matanong niya, paano kayo nakakuha ng kontrata sa aking distrito? Tinulungan ko ba kayo? Hindi. Flood mitigation din yung, flood control din yung i-implement ng SIMS at ng St. Timothy sa kanyang distrito.
Congressman, as a final question, because of the uncertainty when Congressman Zaldy Co will come back to the Philippines, ano pong plano ng Ako Bicol in terms of representation? Meron po bang hahalili sa kanya?
Considering that we are two in the party list, Ako Bicol, kayang-kaya naman po natin trabaho yun because when we filed bills, magkasama when we our advocacy programs in our 6th province constituency, which is the Bicol region, magkasama rin po kami.
So habang wala po siya, kayo po muna ang sasagot para sa kanya?
Tama po. In fact, when I was out of Congress, that was in the 19th Congress, yung pag-implementa ng mga programa sa aming region Bicol, ako naman po talaga yung nag-iikot sa region. At siya naman po yung nagtatrabaho sa Kongreso. He was so busy the 19th Congress because he's heading Committee on Appropriation.
Okay. So at least we have a point person as to when it comes to the congressman. But we will await him. I mean, after all of these checkups, as you mentioned, and then wait for him to answer to the allegations himself. In the meantime, maraming salamat po for joining us today and answering our questions. We have Ako Bicol Party List Representative Alfredo Garbin.
Thank you, Gretchen. Morning.
Up next, amid concerns over the lower house's ability to conduct an impartial self-investigation, President Marcos is pushing for an independent commission with subpoena powers to probe flood control issues. Don't go away. Morning Matters will be back after a short break. Welcome back. You're still watching Morning Matters here on One News. The National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict, or NTF-ELCAC, is set to hold the Unity Run for Peace and Development on September 14. It aims to raise funds for the reintegration of former rebels under the Buklod Kapayapaan Federation. Organizers say that the event is more than a sporting activity. It is a show of solidarity with those who have chosen peace over conflict. And joining us now is Undersecretary Ernesto Torres Jr., Executive Director of the National Secretariat of the NTF-ELCAC, to talk about the upcoming Unity Run for Peace and Development. Good morning, Yusek.
Good morning, Gretchen, at isang mapayapang umaga po sa ating mga tagapanood.
Tell us all about this Unity Run for Peace and Development. At ano po yung Buklod Kapayapaan Federation?
Well, unang-una, yung Buklod Kapayapaan Federation Incorporated ay naitatag noong April 28 ng kasalukuyang taon. Ito ay isang federasyon ng iba't ibang organisasyon ng mga former rebels na nagbalik loob na sa gobyerno. Meaning, tinalikuran na nila yung mga armadong pakikibaka. So they have a national leadership coming from formerly high-ranking cadres, and they have regional organizations also. So when they were established last April, about 4,000 people's organization ang nakapaloob sa kanila, and they have a similar organization sa lahat ng mga regions natin all over the country.
Oho. And bakit ho Unity Run for Peace and Development ang project po ng NTF-ELCAC?
Yeah. Unang-una, Gretchen, alam naman natin this month is Peace Month. So this is our contribution and participation in the celebration of the Peace Month. No? So Unity, Peace and Development also is our campaign plan for 2025 to 2028. Meron tayong National Action Plan for Unity, Peace and Development as we push forward our campaign against insurgency from this year up to 2028. Kaya yun yung pinaka-team natin, kapayapaan, kaunlaran at pagkakaisa.
Okay. I remember recently in one of the Senate hearings, Senator Mig Zubiri brought up the problem or challenge now. Sabi niya, dumadami daw ulit yung NPA, members of the NPA, and also the encounters in his own province. Parang ilan po yung mga namatay, no? Ano po napapansin po ninyo when it comes to that and in the trends? Is it really making a resurgence? Some people are coming back I guess their groups.
Well, Gretchen, as of the end of the first semester, there are only 780 active members of the NPA, no? Yan po yung report sa atin ng ating security sector. But as far as the guerrilla fronts are concerned, all the 89 active guerrilla fronts when the NTF-ELCAC was established in December 2018, ay lahat po yan ay na-dismantle na. Meaning, yung kanilang political and military organization in this guerrilla front areas, pati yung mga mass bases nila, ay hindi na natin makikita. However, 780 NPAs is still a significant number, no? Pero comparing that to its peak na mga 25,000 sila, so it is now relegated into a law enforcement operation. So gumagalaw din po sila, pero hirap na rin po yung ating mga kapatid sa kabundukan. Gawa nga ng mga mass bases nila ay wala nandoon to provide them sanctuary, to provide their resources. But our security sector, hindi naman po sila nagpapabaya sa kanilang mga security patrols to see to it that these groups, yung mga armado pa rin na NPA na gumagala sa mga bundok ay na-address po natin. Kaya nagkakaroon pa rin ng mga encuentro here and there. Pero in most cases, yung ating pong mga tropa ng gobyerno are gaining the upper hand. But that is not really what we wanted to happen. Gretchen, meron naman tayong amnesty program ngayon. So it is rolling. So, and as we speak, meron ng mahigit 2,000 na miyembro ng CPP, NPA ang nag-apply sa ating amnesty. And also, itong mga former rebels natin, that's why they have in their organization about 55,000 former rebels, kasama na rin yung mga supporters nila, no? Kaya nagbalikan yung mga yan dahil sa programa ng gobyerno to really give them that opportunity to reintegrate and go back to mainstream society through our Enhanced Comprehensive Local Integration Program. Kaya po gusto natin palakasin yung Buklod Kapayapaan Federation Incorporated, because ang plano talaga dyan is for them to have an independent civil society organization that will address the concerns and issues ng mga former rebels natin.
So wala po kayo nakikitang alarming trend ng pagbalik ng mga rebelde dito nga po sa sa kanilang mga grupo? Wala pong ganon na parang increase again of recruitment?
Well, Gretchen, we are very much aware that the CPP, NPA, NDF are in their third rectification campaign, meaning they are trying to recover their lost mass bases. They are trying to regenerate yung kanilang mga resources, pati yung mga narratives nila to recruit doon sa mga, lalong-lalo na sa mga kabataan natin and vulnerable sectors, doon sa mga lugar na geographically isolated and vulnerable areas. Meron pa rin silang ginagawang mga recruitment dyan. But tayo sa NTF-ELCAC, replicated naman yung organization natin down to the region, to the provincial, municipality, and barangay. Meron tayong mga mechanisms dyan to address all of these attempts of the insurgents to recover.
Ano po ang role ng NTF-ELCAC dito, to be very specific?
Role in counterinsurgency? Well,
yes.
ang NTF-ELCAC is a mechanism that harmonizes all the government effort, including that of its stakeholders, to truly and genuinely serve the people, especially those living in the geographically isolated and vulnerable communities. And through the years, since its creation in 2018, we've been very successful on that. Kaya nga wala na tayong mga tinatawag na influence barangays. So what we are doing now is we are offering yung Barangay Development Program. Yan po yung flagship program natin for socio-economic development doon sa mga barangay that were formerly influenced by the CPP, NPA, NDF. Because we know very well that in order to sustain our gains, we have to make these barangays feel that there is a government that cares for them. At tayo po sa NTF-ELCAC, sometimes it is vilified to be an organization to be just involved in EJK and red tagging. That is very, very unfortunate, Gretchen. Because ours is an organization that harmonizes all the government's effort to see to it na yung mga barangay na matagal na panahon na hindi nasisilbihan ay makakatamasa ng mga programa ng gobyerno. Yan po yung Barangay Development Program natin. And beyond the Barangay Development Program, committed lahat ng member agencies ng NTF-ELCAC, which is practically all the agencies of the government, to prioritize the implementation of their projects, their programs, doon po sa mga barangay, sa mga BDP barangay, para tuloy-tuloy masusustain yung mga developmental efforts doon. Because normally, or in the past, ang nangyayari kasi na madaling i-agitate yung mga kababayan natin in these areas because they did not feel that there are projects of the government na umaabot sa kanila. But right now, as we speak, for 5 years now, we have already served 4,830 barangay. Pero towards the end of this administration, we still have to launch BDP program in more than 4,000 more barangay kasi sa aming listahan merong 9,336 barangays na naimpluwensyahan dati ng CPP, NPA, NDF but are now cleared from their influence. Kaya ang pinapacilitate po natin ay yung mga developmental efforts doon po sa lugar na yon. And aside from that, of course, meron tayong ini-establish din na integrated territorial defense system para yung mga binanggit mo nga kanina, yung mga nagtatry na pumasok ulit sa mga barangay, together with the security sector, yung mga civilians in the barangay, they work together to ensure na hindi na po makarecover at saka makapag-conduct ng mga extortion, ambushes, doon sa mga barangay na dati nilang pinamumugaran.
Yusek, apart from the CPP-NPA, there's also another group, which is the MILF, which is undergoing a decommissioning process in Mindanao. And in August, their leadership released a letter barring their ground units from taking part in the decommissioning process. Ano po kaya nangyari doon? Where do the challenges lie? Is it more of the same when it comes to yung development po, yung nagkukulang po ba? O hindi na ibigay yung mga naipangako?
I'm sorry, Gretchen, kasi ang NTF-ELCAC, ang aming mandate is only on countering communist insurgency.
Okay.
Ibang concern po, ibang task force yung tumitingin dun sa mga concerns natin sa BARM. But we are closely monitoring the developments there because somehow may mga areas doon na both may concerns ng mga local terrorist group and at the same time meron din communist terrorist group.
Okay. Dito ho sa mga barangay development initiatives, ano po kaya yung mga nagtagumpay na solusyon na nakikita po ninyo? Tama po no na may binababa kayong pondo sa barangay at yun yung ginagamit nila to be able to, I guess, to promote, whatever it is that they need there. No? Pero ano po yung mga matagumpay na programa that keeps people focused on something else, building their own lives?
Well, actually, Gretchen, in all of those 4,830 barangays, you could see kasi may 5 core projects ang barangay development program. Kasama dito yung farm to market road, school building, health stations, electrification, water and sanitation, and sometimes meron din livelihood opportunities. So, depende sa pangangailangan ng barangay, yun yung intervention, yun yung proyekto na ini-implement doon sa kanila. And it is determined by the barangay officials themselves as contained in their barangay development program. So for example, in Barangay A, you could see a project for school building coupled with health station kung yun yung kailangan nila. Whereas in most cases, Gretchen, farm to market road ang request ng mga barangays that benefited from this program. So maganda siguro and we would like to recommend, Gretchen, and we would be very happy if you would feature in one of your programs yung mga barangay development programs sa successes po natin.
Okay, and saan po ulit ang fun run po ninyo, the Unity Run?
The Unity Run will be at Camp General Emilio Aguinaldo. Sana po makapag-join po kayo. That will be on September 14, a Sunday. So meron po tayong several categories. Ito fun run lang naman. Kaya ang pinakamalayo ay 10 kilometers. And we also have 5 kilometers, 3 kilometers, and even 1.5 kilometers. So aside from the runners, pwede rin tayo magsama ng ating mga pets, and even yung mga anak natin, yung mga kapatid natin na maliliit pa for the 1.5 kilometer run. So registration is ongoing now. Dun po sa Facebook page natin, just type in Unity Run for Peace and Development. Kasama natin dito as organizer, a very renowned run organizer, yung Team Malaya. So with your registration, kasama na dyan yung race bib, finisher medal, singlet, and raffle ticket. The usual running package na binibigay natin. But there is an added item para dun sa mga magre-register for 10 kilometer. Meron silang finisher shirt. So I do hope that our listeners now would register and support this activity as it would of course, benefit our former rebels, particularly yung mga miyembro ng Buklod Kapayapaan Federation Incorporated, so that they will have an independent and strong civil society organization so that they can also launch programs for unity, peace, and development para tuloy-tuloy na po yung kanilang reintegration back into the society at tuloy-tuloy na rin sila mag-advocate ng kapayapaan sa ating bansa.
Okay. Magkano po yung registration fee? Ay, yan ay nakasulat na,
Ayan, nasa screen naman po. So, all of the proceeds from this run, from this project, will go directly to Buklod Kapayapaan for the purposes that I have stated earlier.
Okay, maraming salamat ho. I-scan nyo na lang yun, balikan din nyo sa video yung QR code na yun and register for the Unity Run for Peace and Development this coming September 14. Maraming salamat po for sharing us some insight on the current counterinsurgency efforts. We have Undersecretary Ernesto Torres Jr., Executive Director of the National Secretariat of the NTF-ELCAC.
Thank you very much, Gretchen.
President Marcos wants the independent commission that will investigate flood control issues to have subpoena powers. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro said Malacanang is finalizing an executive order creating the commission that will have authority to issue subpoenas. The composition of this investigative body has not been announced, and this comes amid questions over how effective the lower house can truly be in investigating itself. Congressman Toby Chanco, who has been sounding the alarm on budget insertions for months now, for one, believes the House probe will not amount to anything. On StoryCon, he said there seems to be an effort to change the narrative and pin all the blame on the DPWH.
It's so obvious. It's part of the plan to change the narrative. Kasi, di ba, noong SONA, ang sabi ng presidente, mahiya kayo, ibig sabihin referring to us. So they're doing everything. Hindi naman tayo pinanganak lang kahapon. Alam naman natin, ginagawa ang lahat para mailayo sa Kongreso yung issue. Di ba? It is logical na kung sino yung may pinakamalaking nakuha, yun ang una mong gustong tukuyin.
House party leaders have withdrawn their bid to return the 2026 National Expenditures Program after the Department of Budget and Management vowed to fix errors in the budget. Palawan 2nd District Representative Jose Alvarez said Budget Secretary Amina Pangandaman and Public Works Secretary Vince Dizon personally assured him they would visit the House to resolve the issues. The proposal to send back the NEP stemmed from questionable items in the DPWH's budget, including allocations for completed projects and similar discrepancies in other agencies. Alvarez said the House agreed to continue deliberations while giving the DBM and the DPWH 10 days to make corrections. Don't go away. More matters to discuss after a quick break. Keep it here on One News. Welcome back. You're still watching Morning Matters here on One News. Hit Thai film Bad Genius now has a Philippine remake. The series follows the story of a brilliant student who leads an exam cheating scheme. Atasha Mulak stars as Lynn, joined by Hyacinth Calyado, Gab Lagman, and Jairus Aquino. It is directed by award-winning filmmaker Derek Cabrido, who has promised a Filipino take on the story. Bad Genius, the series, will air on TV5 in October. And joining us this morning, we have Hyacinth Calyado, one of the stars of the series, to share her experience bringing this much-anticipated series to life. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so Haya, first of all, tell us about Bad Genius and your role in it.
So I play Grace Ann Dizon, and she is the first friend that Lynn makes into the school. So basically, before all of the heist and the planning happens, I struggle with a test, and then Lynn helps me out. And then my boyfriend, who is Pat, played by Gab, he's the one who realizes, oh, we can make this into a plan to make money. And as you go into the story, you'll see that Lynn and then eventually Bank will join in. They use this plan in order to help their parents and to help, to pay bills and stuff like that, because they're able to earn a lot of money from students who need answers for tests and things like that. So basically, it's like a heist show about kids who create a plan and what's the word? Something about how the system doesn't benefit them, whether it's within the school academically or in general in life with our pressures within our academic pressures or with our parents and stuff like
So
that.
this is the way to retaliate against the system.
Yes.
To break the rules.
Yes.
So
But by
it
secret.
involves the four of you as the student syndicate.
Yes.
That's allowing this. What is the difference of your character with Lynn? I know she is the genius here, right? But how are your personalities different?
So definitely Lynn is a lot more strong.
Which is Atasha Mulak?
Yes, which is played by Atasha Mulak. So she's a lot more stronger. Of course, she's more in her mind. You know, she's always thinking. She's very smart. Grace is very bubbly. She's super kind to the point where it can be very people-pleasing. It can be genuine, but at the same time, you'll see later in the show, it kind of messes up with her morals. And she ends up hurting people unintentionally.
The series promises a Filipino take on the Thai series. How did you see the adaptation happen? I mean, what was your method in researching how we do it here in the Philippines? You're a Filipino American,
Yes.
right? What immersions did you do to be able to make it very Filipino?
Yeah. Well, definitely the cultural part plays into it, right? So that's given. But besides that, one of the things that I really thought about was the privilege of my character. And how that privilege plays into our society in a school where it's hard. I can't really explain it right now. It's so early right now. But like, kasi Lynn, she's in this school through a scholarship, right? But then later on, you'll find out that they have to pay for certain things still. And so, which is
You're the rich one.
Yes, I'm the rich one. So I've had to think about that, my privilege and what I can do.
Are you the child of a flood control contractor?
I hope no. No, she's not. I hope not. Her dad just owns like a printing press company.
Okay.
Just definitely thinking about that and how it plays into our roles and our dynamic and our relationships and in the school as well.
How did you do your research, right? Before you take on a role, many actors do that. Like envision themselves first as in this profession, in this situation. How did you do yours?
Well, definitely for me, I feel like it depends on the character I'm playing and what I feel I need. With her, in some ways, it was really easy because I could relate to being more privileged than others, right? But then at the same time, I had to research things like her feelings of getting to know her feelings of being desperate and leaning more into like channeling the part of her where she feels like she needs to please everyone. I also thought about with Grace how she kind of is a representation of how a lot of women growing up are taught to have to care so much about themselves that they forget about themselves, right? And so because of that people-pleasing trait that she has, I just...
Which part of the United States are you? I mean, you've been here for 3 weeks, right?
Three years.
3 years, sorry, 3 years.
Yeah.
So, which part of the
I'm from California. I'm from the Bay
okay.
Area.
Did you grow up in a Filipino household as well?
Yeah,
Very
I did.
Filipino.
I did. I grew up with a very big Philippine community around.
You were born in California?
Yes.
So how is it coming back? What did you appreciate? And are you set to stay here for your own career?
Yeah. So far, I don't really have plans of moving back. It's also kind of scary right now. But,
how did you get this role if you were in the United States?
Well, I was signed with Viva na when I came here.
Okay.
A little bit after, and so yeah.
All right. So when
This
is
is like
this
my third
airing? Where is it airing and when?
This is airing on Viva One. It is an app, and you can subscribe to it either monthly or yearly. And soon it will be airing on TV5 on October.
This is different from Viva Max, right?
Yes, it is different.
Just to clarify,
different
it's a
from
different
Viva.
app that you subscribe to. Okay, and it will air on TV5 this coming October. Abangan po natin yan. How many episodes?
13.
13.
13. There's an extra one. It used to be 12.
Okay,
Yes.
13 for now. And do we get to see another season right after that?
I don't know.
It depends.
That depends.
It depends on how the story develops. All right, maraming salamat. Thank you so much for telling us all about this new series coming to our screens. This is, of course, a Filipino adaptation of the Thai hit Bad Genius, a movie and a TV series as well. We have Hyacinth Calyado playing the role of Grace, one of the, proteges or the backups of Lynn.
Part of the plan, the team that plans everything.
We'll get to watch you there. In the meantime, maraming salamat for joining us today on Morning Matters. And that wraps up today's episode of Morning Matters. We hope we've given you the right start to your morning and your weekend. Better hit subscribe now to that app, Viva One. At abangan niyo po sa TV5 yung kanilang series. Let's go ahead and make the weekend matter. My name is Gretchen Ho. We are One News, all sides, all the time.